I switched on the light, heading toward the bedroom, thinking my wife Amelia was asleep. But then, blinding pain erupted in my face, and I crumpled to the floor before I could even react. As I struggled to regain my bearings, I saw him emerge from the shadows. He loomed over me, his voice cold and threatening. "This is the end for you," he said. When I walked to the door that night, I expected it to be like any other evening. I had been working late again, another 14-hour day at the finance firm, where my boss's motto was always, "If you're not exhausted, you're not working hard enough." Exhaustion had become my constant companion. But tonight, relief was within reach. I was finally going to get some rest. The house was quiet, the lights dim. I assumed Amelia was already asleep, but as I flipped on the bedroom light, a shadow shifted, and I immediately knew something was horribly wrong. Before I could react, a fist collided with my face, sending me sprawling to the floor. Pain exploded through my skull, and my vision blurred. I struggled to focus as a figure stepped from the shadows, towering above me. "This is the end for you," he said again, his tone cold and deliberate. 6 years ago, I thought I had struck gold. Amelia and I met at a networking gala in Prague. She was magnetic, her dark curls framing a face that could have been on a magazine cover. At the time, she was studying architecture, and I was making a name for myself in investment banking. We bonded over our shared ambition and dreams of building something meaningful. She wanted to design the world's most beautiful buildings, and I wanted to fund them. Our life together seemed flawless. After we married, we moved into a stunning home in Vienna, filled with art and elegance. But as my career soared, I found myself overwhelmed with work. The late nights, constant travel, and endless deadlines started to take their toll. Amelia often told me she felt lonely, that I was married to my job. I tried to make up for it with weekend getaways and lavish gifts, but something always felt off. The spark we once had was dimming, and I couldn't figure out how to reignite it. It started subtly. Amelia had always been an open book, but now her phone was almost always in her hand. She'd step out of the room to take calls, laughing at messages she never showed me. When I asked about it, she'd brush it off, claiming it was just a group of friends. I wanted to trust her. After all, trust was the foundation of our marriage, wasn't it? Then came the business trip. I was supposed to be in Zurich for 3 days working on a major deal. But on the second day, my meeting wrapped up early, and I decided to surprise Amelia by coming home a day ahead of schedule. I imagined the joy on her face when she saw me walk through the door, but what I found instead left me frozen. The first thing I noticed as I pulled into the driveway was an unfamiliar black Audi parked out front. My heart sank. Amelia's friends didn't drive cars like that. This car screamed wealth and status, things I recognized all too well from my career in banking. I told myself it could be a client, but doubt gnawed at me. Inside, the house was eerily quiet. I set my bag down and headed for the living room, where I heard muffled voices. Amelia's laugh floated through the air, soft, intimate. It was a laugh I hadn't heard in months. I peeked around the corner and saw her sitting on the couch with a man I didn't recognize. He was handsome in a polished, almost predatory way, leaning in closer than necessary. Her hand rested on his knee. My world tilted. A surge of anger and betrayal flooded through me. But I didn't confront them. Not yet. I needed evidence. Quietly, I pulled out my phone and took a picture. Then I retreated to the hallway, my thoughts racing. Who is this man? How long had this been happening? The following week passed in a blur as I pretended everything was normal while I put the pieces together. I hired a private investigator. The truth was exactly what I feared. The man's name was Victor. He was a real estate developer, one of Amelia's clients. They had been seeing each other for months, meeting in secret at hotels, and occasionally in our own home. The investigator handed me a folder full of photos and text message exchanges. Amelia's words stung deeply. "Lucas is too busy for me." "Victor, you make me feel alive again." I could have confronted her right then and there, but I wanted her to fully comprehend the gravity of her actions. I needed a plan. Carefully, I only had one shot at this. The night I switched on the bedroom light, I was expecting Victor to be there. He must have seen my car pull up and decided to confront me before I had the chance to confront him. His attack was swift, but I was quicker. As he leaned over me, preparing to strike again, I kicked up, hitting him squarely in the stomach. He staggered back, and I scrambled to my feet. "What the hell are you doing in my house?" I shouted, my voice raw with rage. Amelia appeared in the doorway, her face ashen. "Lucas, stop. It's not what you think." "Not what I think." I laughed bitterly. "So, you didn't bring him here? You didn't betray me?" Victor recovered and stepped forward, but I raised my finger, pointing directly at him. "Take one more step, and I swear I'll make you regret it." He hesitated, his confidence wavering. "Amelia, let's go," he said, grabbing her arm. "No one's going anywhere," I said, my voice low and menacing. "Not until I'm done." I pulled out the folder and threw it onto the bed. "This is what you've been doing behind my back. Months of lies, sneaking around, and disrespecting our marriage. You thought I wouldn't find out." Amelia's eyes filled with tears, but I felt nothing. "Lucas, please let me explain." "There's nothing to explain," I replied coldly. "You made your choice. Now it's my turn." Victor's business depended on his reputation and trust. I had the investigator gather all the details of his affair with Amelia, complete with hotel receipts and incriminating photos. I sent the entire report anonymously to his top investors. Within days, his project started falling apart as clients withdrew their funding. Amelia's architectural firm prided itself on integrity, and I knew her affair would destroy her image. I leaked the details to the company's HR department, along with evidence that she had been using work hours and resources to meet Victor. She was suspended pending an investigation, her promising career teetering on the edge. The next day, I filed for divorce, armed with the evidence of her infidelity. The court ruled in my favor. I kept the house, the assets, and my dignity. Amelia was left with nothing but regret. Months later, I heard from mutual friends that Victor had lost his company and fled the country. Amelia, once the star of her firm, was now working freelance and living in a small apartment. She had tried to reach out to apologize, but I never responded. I had nothing left to say to her. As for me, I found peace in rebuilding my life. I focused on my career, my health, and my happiness. The betrayal had shattered me, but it also taught me my worth. I deserved someone who valued loyalty and respect, and I wouldn't settle for anything less. The night I turned on that light, I thought my world was collapsing. But in truth, it was the start of something new. Sometimes the people who betray us teach us the most important lesson of all, to walk away and never look back. Betrayal doesn't define you. How you rise from it does. And sometimes, the best revenge is realizing you didn't need them to be whole. Thank you for being part of this journey with me. If the story resonated with you, please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Lauren's channel. I've noticed many of you who enjoy these stories aren't subscribed yet. By subscribing, you're not just following a channel. You're becoming part of a community that values meaningful storytelling. Let's continue exploring these heartfelt journeys together. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next story.